Hello everyone, welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming. Without us, they wouldn't feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So, again, we're based out of Westchester Gaming Group. We actually are starting to play at a local gaming store up in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. It's actually owned by a guy I used to game with. I hate to say it, almost 20 years ago. His name's Mike. Awesome guy. Look forward. It's a smaller store, so we're going to try doing some tournaments up there. We're meeting up there every other week right now, and I hope to be able to start showing some more consistent videos and things like that. But we'll see where life takes us. So, unfortunately, the pandemic picnic was first off, it actually. Not unfortunately, it was a success. Had a great time. We also did an open gaming on Sunday. It just was so long ago. I don't recall all the games that we had going on. And my army, I did actually fairly well. I played as the ringer, but I was playing my Saurian Ancient list. And I remember I think I played KoE from Tennessee, new gaming group down in Tennessee. Out in Nashville, so if you live out that way, please let me know. I'll try to put you in contact with them. I played Jeremy Schweitzer, who is captain for Team USA ETC. Had a great game with him. Who else did I play? Oh my God, I can't remember. Those were my last two games, and I can't remember who my first game was versus Guy, who I'll try to make another video with picks. He has a beautifully painted Vermin Swarm army, and I hope he, hopefully he's happy with some of the new changes to the book, regardless of the ridicule that the book has received, including from myself and personal voicings. It's still here's the thing, is the amount of work that those teams put into those books is unreal. So I'll speak more of that at the end. But he has a beautifully painted Vermin Swarm army. But this is not Pandemic Picnic. This is Buckeye Battles. This is the pinnacle. This is the big U.S. event, singles tournament, 4,500 points, and I'm really looking forward to it. My buddy Chris and I, we took off to try to play in the doubles tournament. We planned to. However, we hit traffic. As a matter of fact, we had a car accident happen maybe 100 yards in front of us that shut down Pennsylvania Turnpike. So there we are. We're all excited. We're all set to go, and we had enough time to review all the lists except for Vermin Swarm and Warriors of Dark Gods for Buckeyes. And that was already after sitting there for quite a while. So, my first opponent on Saturday. So, here we have the Highborn Elves versus the Kingdom. Playing an awesome guy. His name is Jay. He's out from, I believe, Michigan. I think I played him before, hung out with him before, and like I said, just awesome guy. And here's a copy of his list. And I will say, I really liked how his models were painted. He's got the Dragon Mage on the dragon. He's got the High Prince with, of course, the Sliver. Never leave home without it. He's got a BSB Conreg, again, very... Other than the Mage on the Dragon, which is not uncommon, but although usually that's one of the smaller dragons, but I've seen it on a normal dragon. You take that out of the list, it's not uncommon. The 15 Highborn Lancers, here's the thing, is, yeah, they don't hit as hard as Rima, or they don't hit as hard as KoE, but they outdistance my army. That unit is Advanced 9 Stalker Standard. So it can easily go, F you guys, we're going in. Spears are always an issue, especially for my army. Most of my armies only res 3. And because they're only strength 3, I only have 6 up Aegis. As for the Knights of Rima, Knights of Rima, there's only 5 of them. The Queen's Guard, look, I've been shot off the board with those 18 Queen's Guard from other players, and the 2 Sea Guard Reapers, and then the Frost Phoenix. This is like the unsung hero of the Highborn Elf book sometimes, are those Phoenixes. And so he's got Frosty, And here's the kingdom. Again, you've got my normal Duke. You've got my normal characters. Other than I had added Renown to my BSB and an additional Aether icon. And he's always had that push and swiftness. I've got my 10 Knights of the Realm, my 2 aspirants, and my 15 crossbows. So those of you are probably looking at this going, is he over core? The answer is yes. Yes, I am, by almost 100 points, I want to say. I've got 8 Knights of the Realm. I've got my Green Knight, who is by far the best offensive chaff piece in the game. 5 Yeomans with just shields, so 5 up armor, and 2 Scorpions because, again, just as I said with the Sliver, when it comes to the Scorpions, you never leave home without it. Here is a picture of his deployment. Again, beautifully painted. I love the dragon. I love the phoenix. I really, really do. I want to say I either saw him or no, it was him. He has something on that phoenix, which I thought was brilliant. It's one of those like if you remember the old radio antennas that would extend, or if you are in construction and you have one of those it's like got a little magnet on the end, pick something up, and you use it to extend. I'm sorry, the word escaped me. It's late here, but his Phoenix is on that, and it's just brilliant because look, it's problem fitting in because of terrain, because of other models. Here, let me just move it up. So he's got his going left to right. He's got his big lancers. He's got his spears. He's got the bolt thrower. He's got his chaff, and behind the chaff, he's got his Queen's Guard. He's got another bolt thrower, the dragon, and then Phoenix and Rima. On my side, I have the unit of aspirants. I have them riding Pumas. This way, as I always was told, I don't know which knight is which. So, they are on Pumas. They are on Pumas to represent the fact that they get to re-roll charges. Next to that is my unit of Grails. There is a great big Grail on that banner, and Grails all over the unit. Then I've got my Hippo. Now, that is new. That is the new Duke Breslin, which I'll be trying to write into the Chronicles of Lord Breslin. That was painted by Brian Hulley. So most of my Grail Knights, not all of them, most of my Grail Knights were painted by Brian Hulley. And they were TMS miniatures. I understand TMS has gone out of business, which is a shame. Yes, they had poor customer service, but man, they were beautiful models, well sculpted. Yeah, I just wish he could get them out to people in a timely manner. I mean, that was frustrating. So, anyway, Brian Hulley, we had a kit bash because it didn't come with everything in terms of the Hippo. Phil Carl made me a tail for him. I kit bashed the legs with an old aspirant, and that was it. But it's such a beautiful model. Next to him are my yeomen, then my crossbows. Again, Brian Hulley painted the yeoman because it's also basically, if it's a TMS model, Brian, who has a beautiful, as a matter of fact, he won Best Painted, and I have to still give him the award. But he won Best Painted at Buckeyes, and he painted those models. And then the crossbows, I painted the aspirants. I painted the other characters. The crossbows were painted by Brett, Rob, and the Knights of the Realm were speed painted by Phil Carl. And you can see my BSB. It's the one that looks out of color compared to everything else over there. And then you got aspirants out on the far end. So this was a blind deployment, and we're playing Breakthrough. I'm trying to remember, I believe, pardon me, I won the roll-off to turn around. So here are our vanguards, and Green Knight still sitting there going, no, I'm not doing anything yet. So no, he actually got first turn because he managed to shoot off one of my aspirants. Those poor aspirants. By the way, little crosses are tile spacers. If you need something to mark your bases, tile spacers. As I said, he was going first. He managed to go ahead and put on 3 wounds onto my scorpion. And that was that. So now I turn around and I get off swarm of insects. Now let me go back a picture. You'll see that there are 2, I repeat, 2 bolt throwers. During my turn, here's movement. Okay, so again, I advance up with the Duke. I chaff up his Rymanites. I have aspirants set up over there. I have the Grails set up over there. And that's that. So Swarm of Insects goes ahead and removes one of those bolt throwers right off the bat. I got a little lucky there. I won't lie. And that's that. He went charging into my yeoman. Now, we talked about this after the fact. He's like, well, you had me on that end. It's like, and I turned to him like, you had a musician that unit, right? He goes, yes. What you do is use my chaff against me. Okay, if I turn around, if I do that, you just go ahead and block my charge using your chaff. Instead, what he did is he had to go ahead and use his Frost Phoenix's chaff and he blows up my chaff. So, and there's that telescopic. It's telescopic something, but it's a wonderful idea. I loved it. And there's that. They're going to die a horrible death. Over here, he charged. I fled and said, see ya. He shot off with the Queen's Guard. As I said, that unit there is rather deceptive. It really, really is. So he shot off 4, I repeat, 4 Knights of the Realm with the Queen's Guard. So during my turn, I go ahead, I declare that charge with the aspirants, going right into the Rima. So it looks like that. And it's funny because I think I killed one, he killed one. Neither one of us had banner, so I won by a charge. Over there, I had actually charged in and got off Stone Skin during my magic phase. So, and popped out the Green Knight. I didn't do a lot of wounds to him. I really did just, it was just a whiff fest. And, but I still managed to turn around and break him from close combat. I went ahead and rallied my aspirants, and that's it. During his turn, he charges into the Green Knight. Oh, pardon me. I screwed up on the one side because again we were just I wasn't going to I just screwed up. No other way to say it. I screwed up. Just wasn't thinking. Even though I won combat, I could have done a simple reform so he couldn't charge in with the dragon. Instead, I didn't, and he charged in with a dragon. Why wouldn't you? So the dragon ate me. Of course, my Grails ate the Phoenix, and it did not come back. And I'm playing Peekaboo over there with his Duke. But again, this is actually his turn. During his turn, he charges the Green Knight as well. And that's it. So, that unit with the help of the Mighty Mighty Dragon goes away. Kind of expected that. Rima ends up all the way down there. There's the dragon. And unfortunately for him, the Rima Knights did not get out of line of sight of the Grails. So, during my turn, I charged with the Knights of the Realm back into those other knights. I had line of sight. I charged the aspirants that had rallied into the Brick of Spears. This is now their second round of combat. I won't lie. I'm hoping to get off a Summer Growth to heal them back up so I can break the unit. During close combat, Oh no, he gets to do those stand and shoot things. No, he didn't. Those aren't. Maybe those are. No, that's not Queen's Guard. So I think in close combat he only killed one of me that turn. As I said, I did charge his Ryman Knights. I just didn't take a picture. Ran him off the board. I rolled boxcars, and the Knights of the Realm here beat up on his Lancers. That again, I charged. They fled. They got. I let them go. They rallied. I charge again, and this time I tried to restrain. I failed with a rerollable, and off the board they went. So this is now how the board looks. This is his turn, so I had moved the Duke, and he maneuvers his dragon at the Duke. The reason I put the Duke over there was I wanted to try to get him to look in his direction, to start either taking pop shots, move his archers in that direction, something. He goes ahead. I forget what spell he gets off on the, and I can't see it in the picture I'm looking at. Maybe you can on a larger screen, but he gets one buff up on that unit. I keep stopping Miletus. I hate Miletus wholeheartedly. The Green Knights doing what Green Knights do best, and the Aspirants are just singing the song "Staying Alive." So here's how the board looks at the end of my movement as I go back up on the hill. Grail Knights move up, staying outside the charge of the dragon. As you can see, there are two of his Reavers left. Well, the crossbows make short work of them. I was actually really happy with crossbows this tournament. Over here, I end up breaking his unit, and that's it. I'm just going to go back a couple of pictures here. So from here, my Knights of the Realm go into that one bolt thrower because without having something in the flank, I want nothing to do with that spear with the Queen's Guard because of that Sliver Prince. He doesn't even bother trying to take on the Duke. I may have been outside of range actually, and that's it. So this is actually where the game ends. So I've lost my chaff. I lost one unit of aspirants, and that was it. He still had a good chunk of points because he had his characters and that one Brick of Seaguard and the one Peter. So let's see. That ended up being a 17-3 victory for the Kingdom. But no, this was such a fun game. If you ever have a chance to play Jay, I would highly recommend it. Smart guy, love his models. I need to figure out how to do that telescopic thing because especially with my Duke, I mean that would be fantastic. So that's it. Please post any questions, concerns, and until next time, happy gaming.